Most analysts can write the SQL, but the ones who get hired and promoted understand the business behind it. That's what this module is all about. I'm Ali, I run a data and analytics consultancy, and I've led analytics projects across multiple organizations. And the single biggest difference between analysts who get hired and those who don't is how well they understand the business before they touch any of the data. This is module 1 of 5 in the Portfolio Stack Customer Support Analytics series, a complete job-ready portfolio case built the way analytics actually works in real companies. In this module, we establish the business foundation. You'll understand how customer support creates and destroys value in a SaaS business and what decisions your analysis need to support. Let's get into it. So as with all my projects, I like to go through the business problem and start there. I think that's one of the most important things you can do as a data professional. And of course, I want to do that this time also. So let me zoom in for you guys on this one, and then we can go through. So this project is, customer support analytics, and this is module 1 of the portfolio stack, the free version of this course. And there's 2 things. We're going to look at the overview of the business problem and some context, and then we're going to look at a worksheet, which you guys can download and complete as an exercise to practice some of the things that we're going to discuss now. But as always, before touching data models or dashboards, any data products, we need to understand the business. This module establishes the foundation, everything else is built on. So the understanding that you establish in the beginning of a project or initiative is really important for later. So most analysts jump straight into data, and the result is that it might be technically correct, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's something that someone can act on. It doesn't mean that it necessarily aligns with what the business needs. So support metrics could get tracked in isolation: response time, resolution time, ticket backlog, without connecting into what really matters, which is product quality, customer retention, and business decisions. And we're going to get more into that, but this is why you have to think about the context first. Common failure is building dashboards before defining decision frameworks. Reporting becomes descriptive, explaining what happened, not why, and not what should change. So again, business context, always very important. The company is FlowSync, is a B2B SaaS company providing workflow automation and data integration tools to mid-sized and enterprise clients. So customers use FlowSync to manage critical business operations such as order processing, financial reconciliation, and system synchronization. So these are 1 second. Let me see if these are very important operations for a company, and they use FlowSync to make sure that this works together. And because the product is deeply embedded in customer workflows, platform reliability and usability are essential. It's important that this works as needed. Revenue is subscription-based, and retention depends on consistent product performance and effective support. So the longer we can retain customers, the better product performance and effective support they will feel that they get, the higher customer lifetime value do we get. Historically, FlowSync has tracked support performance through service level metrics, but visibility into what drives support demand is limited, and recurring issues continue to generate tickets without root causes being addressed. And that's what we're going to try and do in this project. Make data available so that we can actually understand what are the root causes that are generating these tickets. So we also have to think about how does customer support creates and it could destroy value. So customer support creates value by enabling product adoption. They want to use the product, maintaining reliability, and reducing friction. When it works well, customers stay and expand, and especially in recurring revenue business models, customer support is very important. Value leakage happens when support interactions reflect unresolved product issues, high ticket volumes signal friction, and slow resolutions disrupt customers. Also, repeat contacts indicate systematic problems that aren't being systemic problems that aren't being fixed. So you can think about it yourself. If you continuously have to contact someone regarding a customer service issue, or this happens over and over, it's going to destroy some of your perceived value of the product and just dealing with them. In SaaS environment, these dynamics compound. A single integration bug can affect dozens of customers simultaneously. Analytics must connect support performance to product quality and not treat them as separate functions. Basically, we have to make sure that the way we perform on the customer service support side it's not something that is different from the product quality and what we offer. There should be some loops here, some communication channels that make sure that customer support and feedback, of course, increases product quality and experience. The support operating model. So right now, FlowSync support function handles tickets across in app chat, email, and support portals. And each ticket is, it's an operational task and a signal about how the product is performing. So it's a task which needs to be handled, and it also says something about how the product is doing out there with the customers. Multiple teams are involved. Support agents handle incoming tickets and provide resolutions. Technical specialists address complex integration or system issues. Customer success teams manage high-value accounts and long-term adoption. Engineering teams are engaged when issues require product changes. So it really says something about how important customer support is and how wide it kind of goes into a business. It's not only the support agent you have to think about. There's quite a few things. So support operates at the intersection of execution and diagnosis, capturing real-time feedback on product performance. So that's a little bit about the support operating model. And then, what type of decisions does analytics need to support? And we'll come back to that. We can discuss this more. But again, we're in module 1. I'm trying to give you guys an overview and some thoughts we need to keep in the back of our mind. But support decisions happens across 3 horizons or areas, and analytics must connect all 3. Operational, so we have ticket prioritization, routing, backlog management, and escalation handling. Basically, how do we operate and work around these tickets, and how do we handle it? Tactical, so staffing models, SLA definitions, knowledge base, and categorization of improvements. So how do we tactically handle this? Do we need more people? How do we define our service level agreements, knowledge base? What do we need to write there? How do we categorize different improvements to get it into different buckets? And then you have strategic, which is product improvements, UX changes, and onboarding enhancements to reduce demand in terms of the support need. So optimizing short-term response times without addressing systematic product issues result in sustained or increasing support demand. And analytics must make these trade-offs explicit, which means that if we try to solve things short-term, it doesn't mean that the demand or the pressure on customer service or customer support is going to reduce. It really depends, and analytics need to be able to look across these 3 horizons and make the trade-offs explicit in terms of what we decide to do at what time to try and improve and address issues as they come. So some core challenges at FlowSync. New customers generate high ticket volumes during onboarding and configuration. Resolution times vary significantly by issue type, from quick config fixes to multi-team coordination. A meaningful share of tickets are recurring due to the same problems appearing again and again. Ticket categorization is often inconsistent, making root case analysis difficult. So we have the first one, says something about onboarding and configuration, the starting to use the product. Second one is how long does it take to fix, and it can depend by type. Third one is some things keep coming back. And fourth one is that if we don't have good data quality, it's hard to say why, what is the root cause of this. So these challenges reinforce each other. Poor categorization limits insights. Limited insights prevents prioritization. Unresolved issues drive repeat contacts. And we want analytics to break this cycle by showcasing data and analytics to these different teams to make them be able to see this from a different point of view. And what does it look like when it's good? FlowSync's ambition is to move from reactive support operations a data-informed model where support becomes a feedback system, continuously improving information, continuously informing product development and customer success. So we have data coming in. We're not only reacting, but we're being proactive about the stuff we have to do, changes we have to do to make sure the product develops the right way and customer, it becomes successful. Short term, reduce backlog, improve SLA compliance and consistent response time. Medium term, higher first contact resolution, fewer repeat contacts and lower cost per ticket. We'll come back to that later. Long term, reduced overall support demand by fixing root causes. So analytics serves as a decision infrastructure and not to produce static reports, but to support recurring operational and strategic decisions across support, product, and customer success. So that's what I wanted to give you guys in terms of an overview. We're in module 1 and in this free series of the portfolio stack project for customer support analytics. Even though it's free, there's lots of value to be picked up on this. So make sure subscribe and follow the rest of the module. Lots of good stuff coming as we get more into the data. Before we move on and we finish up, do check the description. Just as in portfolio stack, we have these worksheets, we have these tasks and different type of things I want you guys to fill out. This is the shorter one. In the full version, we go a little bit more in depth and I add some more things, but I still think this is good. So check the description. You can download this from GitHub. There's a bit of writing some sentences to see if you can put it into words. What does FlowSync do? Customers, why does customer support matters for this business? Some core challenges, list some of those key core challenges. What drives support demand and what makes it hard to resolve issues effectively. There's some optional parts here. Why do these challenges occur? Analytics and decisions. What are the key questions analytics should answer and what decisions or actions should those support? And then a little bit of, after you've done this worksheet, I want you guys to have a clear understanding of the business and what makes customer support critical. Define support challenges grounded in the case and a link between analytics and the decisions it needs to support. Module 2 will look at data ingestion, preparation, raw data, pros and cons. But these are the things that I want you guys to look at and do. It's optional. You don't have to do it. But I think it's a great thing to do to really make sure that you get the most out of understanding module 1, and it's a good preparation for module 2, where we get more into the actual data and we start to get more hands-on. You now have something most analysts skip entirely: a clear picture of the business before a single line of SQL is written. Remember that you get a worksheet, so set aside 10 to 15 minutes to complete it before moving on to module 2. This is module 1 of 5 and the full series is free here on YouTube. But if you want a complete course with hands-on walkthroughs, exercises, more data, more challenges, then you can find a link for that below. That's where you go from raw data to a finished portfolio case you can actually show in interviews. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, then give it a thumbs up. If you want to follow this series, then make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next module.